Understanding how to be your own social media manager in 2020 is essential for any new solopreneur. Without a sustainable and effective workflow, unfortunately, your offers are going to be headed nowhere fast. By the end of this video, you'll have practical guidance on how to operate a social media workflow weekly so that you can get one step closer to building that sustainable business that'll help you finally escape the college to employee pipeline. And if you're new here, I'm Liz. And if you've always loved learning but never saw yourself as an entrepreneur, this channel's for you. I want to connect the dots with practical guidance to show you how you can finally have access to the freedom and true economic mobility of working for yourself. After much research and experimentation, I found an effective workflow that utilizes my two main platforms, YouTube and Instagram. And using this same strategy, I've been able to do consistent weekly uploads on YouTube for the past 14 weeks. This workflow utilizes a 5-day format, so whether you work on the weekends or you don't, you can customize it to your needs. Also, I'll be breaking down each day in terms of the primary task and the potential secondary tasks that you could be working on as well. The key here is to keep each process as simple and as quick as possible, because you really want to spend the bulk of your time serving and growing your client base, especially as a new solopreneur. So let's get started. All right, day one. So on day one, the primary focus is going to be research. So you're going to want to research what your primary content will be for the week. This will be what you use to set up your entire outline for your YouTube script. You're also going to want to make sure that you do any relevant research in terms of what hashtags you use and also in terms of what keywords you're going to put into your titles. And so it's very important that you're thorough with this. It's important that you're making sure that whatever content that you're going to do, that it's fully in alignment with your brand. And when I say brand, I'm really just talking about what your primary purpose is for your business or your organization, the primary message you're trying to get across, the primary problem that you were really trying to help your target audience to solve. So to keep things simple, for that week, I do research on the main umbrella topic for that week. Once the research is gathered, then you can start working on the outline. And the more research that you have, the more focused your outline will be and the faster you'll get this done. So overall, you really want the total work that you're doing each of these days for these tasks to really not be more than 2 hours or so. That way you have more time to dedicate towards the actual services that you're providing and engaging with potential clients and your audience. For day two, this is when you're going to focus on your primary task of finishing up your outline to make sure that it's clean, it's crisp, that it's all set. And then you're going to work on converting that primary outline into a bit of a micro outline. And the reason why you want to do this is because you're going to use this micro outline for your Instagram post. And so my primary social media platforms that I use for my content marketing purposes are YouTube and Instagram. And so with Instagram, you want to make sure that you have a micro outline version of it, just because you kind of want to talk in snippets, because everyone's attention span is like a goldfish these days. So you want to make sure that you use it for that purpose. You want to save it. And then also what I like to do is I like to kind of reflect on the topic of that week. Maybe if I have a lesson learned, or if I can think of something in my past that really kind of hits home on this topic, then I will also include that for a second Instagram posting later on in the week. So I'll get these prepped and I'll save them in my Google Drive. And I save them in my Google Drive because I want to make sure that I have easy access to them when I'm ready to get them posted. That way it's just a simple copy and paste and then I'm ready to go. But right now, you really just want to focus on making sure that the words that you're going to present to your audience are as clean and crisp as they can possibly be. Day three. Day three is recording day, and on recording day, you want to make sure that you have your outline easily accessible, whether it's on paper or on your phone, and you want to be able to reference it while you're doing it. I would not advise trying to memorize an entire script of things that you're trying to say, because it is extremely difficult to do, and it'll probably take you more time just to address and correct the mess ups than it would to just edit in snippets and make sure that you have your outline ready in case you kind of lose your train of thought. Also, when I'm recording, I like to try and incorporate little tips and tactics to help me when I'm editing to indicate when I've messed up and when I'm starting over. So something I've learned is that clapping helps when I'm editing so that I know when I've messed up and what area I can get rid of. I'm continually looking for new and more ways to try and make the editing process as quick and as seamless as possible. Let me know in the comments below if you have found another tip or trick you use to kind of help make your editing process go by quicker. because at the end of the day, we want this entire week-long process to be extremely sustainable and to be quick so that it's not bogging down all of your time. If recording is the primary task for the day, then the secondary task can be editing. And if I have time, I love to be able to kind of edit straight to the bone. So just trying to do a quick run through to quickly take out any areas where I've messed up. And this is where doing the clapping or any other tips or tricks you have help to make sure that this part of the process is as easy and quick as possible. You want to make sure that you're not doing what I used to do in the beginning and have 20 minutes of footage that you are carefully going through with a fine-tooth comb. No, you do not want to do that. That will not make your process go by quickly. So again, try to edit to the bones and use systems like clapping or other systems to help make it much easier for your editing self. All right, day 4 is editing day, and I really like to spend the majority of my time focusing on editing. So I usually don't even have a secondary task for this day. I like to really get into the weeds of the video. I like to make sure that it's as clean as it possibly can be. I add my visuals, I add my audio, and then once it's finished, I like to rewatch it again from the very beginning just to make sure it has a nice flow. I like to make sure that the audio with my music and with my voice, that they aren't clashing with each other. As another tip, I would definitely advise that you use a blue light filter while you're editing, just to make sure you're not putting any undue strain on your eyes and giving yourself headaches. I found this extremely helpful moving forward, and I definitely just downloaded a blue light filter app right onto my MacBook, and it was extremely helpful. All right, day 5 is all about optimization and posting. And so when I'm posting to YouTube, I definitely make sure that I'm optimizing my video as much as I possibly can. And this is super key. I was not doing this before when I first started my channel. And now that I've learned the ins and outs of the YouTube algorithm, my views have gotten exponentially much better. And I know this is overkill, but I watch my video again from start to finish in YouTube just to make sure that it's just as crisp and that the audio is just as good as it was when I first uploaded. I really just want to make sure that when my viewers watch it, that they're really getting the best of my work. Then, once the video is made public, I start promoting on Instagram. And so I go back to my micro outline that I created all the way back on day 2 or 3, and I copy and paste that into an Instagram post, along with a Canva template that I pulled as well. And so I have a few different templates that I use on Canva, and I basically just keep reusing groupings of similar ones. Now, some people might prefer to kind of spend much more time in terms of making sure that their IG posts look as pretty as possible, but for some of us, we really are focusing much more on the content. So as long as the content you're providing is extremely clear and provides value, that's the main focus. Not too many people will care if they notice that your template is aqua green this time around versus maroon. It's not that big of a deal at this stage in the game. I also want to make sure that I'm pasting in the relevant hashtags that I already would have accumulated on my research days. Then I go ahead and schedule my second IG post for later in the week. So that one would have been the reflection or the lesson learned that I had pulled from earlier in the week. I'll go ahead and post that with a different image. Canva is amazing in terms of templates that you can use to post for Instagram. You really do not have to hire a graphic designer, especially when you're a new solopreneur, because they already have graphic designers that have created these amazing templates, and you can really tweak them and customize them however you want to. But at this point in the game, we really want to focus on saving time on these more administrative and social media management tasks, because we want the bulk of our time to go towards engaging potential clients and also engaging people who are interacting with our content. Strong research and optimization techniques are essential for having success posting on YouTube. They also lay the key foundation that you'll need to make sure that the tasks for the rest of your week are seamless and quick. And honestly, if you are a new solopreneur and you're still struggling with getting your content seen on YouTube, you still have no clue where to go in terms of a strategic plan for your content, then definitely follow me on Instagram at A Tribe Called Liz. And there you can have access to a free YouTube strategy consultation session with me for 30 minutes where we will go over the fundamentals. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like it, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below which step you've been skipping and why. There is a ton of information out there on every single one of the tasks that I mentioned in this video, but it's good to at least have a general overview so you can see how they all connect with each other. And then once you see how they all connect and have a foundation that you're already working on, you can continue to grow and improve on each of these techniques over time. But oftentimes we just need the basics to help us get started. And I am happy to share the basics, especially if it brings you even one step closer to freedom and true economic mobility. Be sure to check out my other videos if you're interested in creating even more impact in the areas of education or social justice. Bye!